What's up, A to Z Sports Live on a Friday. It's the last weekday without a Titans regular season game. So how about that? The Titans season opens in Denver against the Broncos in just a couple days, and we're here to officially preview this entire 2025 season. Zach is back. We've got three defining questions for Cam Ward and these 2025 Titans ahead of this week one matchup, a really tough matchup. Dabo was talking about taking a final exam on the first day, first week of class. That's kind of similar to what the Titans are doing here with Cam Ward going up against this Broncos defense, leading the league in sacks last year, and all the different things that they can throw at you. But we're going to have a good show today, talking about the entire season as a whole. And I'm in the dark on this. Zach is back. He apparently saw his shadow, or didn't see your shadow, so football season's here. So now you've got your three questions, and I have no idea what they are. So this is all going to be.
It's not going to be a good show, Austin. This is going to be a great show. And I'm out of hibernation. I have awoken. And we got to bring the energy and the juice. Football is back. You got Cowboys, Eagles. CeeDee Lamb's got to catch those passes to get us some more juice. You got games tonight, or you got a game tonight in Brazil. You got college football on the horizon. This is my favorite weekend of the year. That's why I returned from hibernation. You get sandwiched. You get sandwiched, Zach. You get Friday and Monday, and we get Titans football. You get, oh my gosh, I just keep going on and on. One thing we do have to do is get this party started by sharing the show. So, look, it may take me a little. I've been gone for, last year was 73 days. I don't even know how many days it's been this year.
I haven't counted.
I've been gone
sleeping much. So
we need to get back into the saddle. Everybody needs to share the show. And you need to invite your friends. Tell your friends out there. Text them. Get your group chat. Say, hey, look, the season is back. We're about to talk Titans football. We got three very pressing questions. We've got predictions. We've got to get to a lot of things. Plus, we got good news. So share the show around. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We got you covered there. We will tweet out the link segment by segment on our Twitter/X handle at A to Z Sports. So give us a follow there. We've got Instagram. We've got TikTok. We've got Facebook. We've got YouTube. Anywhere that you can be, A to Z Sports is there, not only for the Titans, but all across the country. Make sure you follow A to Z Sports NFL on our Twitter handle if you are an NFL fiend. We got college football coverage on A to Z Sports.com. And we're about to have a dynamic show on this Friday. So let's get this party started, Austin. My blood's flowing. You need to get yours. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yep, let's do it officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports here, powered by BTA Sports on a Friday morning. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. We're Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Follow us there at A to Z Sports. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans coverage. Leave us a 5-star Google review for A to Z Sports. That goes a long way for us. Do got to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for us and they help out all of you. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process. See them in Lebanon, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. They are local and online at BartonDrury.com. Botero Carts, life is short. Go buy a golf cart. 2 locations to serve you in Columbia and in Gallatin. And Window Nation, buy 2 windows. You get 2 free. Make no payments for 2 years. That's windownation.com. Zach, welcome back. I don't know how, did you do a show post-draft? Was that the last-ish time? So I've been like maybe the last couple of days of April or the last Monday of April going into the month of May. That might be we counted 77 days. But that's, you went deeper into the spring and summer a year ago than you did this year. Hibernation started earlier.
Yeah, well, you got to get your rest and or lack thereof. It's been a while, but the season is back. Training camp, you guys have maneuvered through training camp, and shout out to Easton and JT and everybody that is a part of the Nashville-centric part of A to Z Sports, holding down the fort. I feel like the shows have been great this summer, but I think everybody can agree when we say we are glad we've got meaningful football upon us, right? We can really start to criticize, critique, and give our flowers to those that earn them on the Tennessee Titans. And you've got some big storylines going into this year. I mean, with Brian Callahan going into year 2 and, prove it or lose it type deal. You've got new GMs. You've got a new structure. You got a new quarterback. I feel like you have kind of a new defense and new offense all told. Can you get new results? That's the question. We'll see what the chat says. We'll see what you and I think later on in this show about the results. But this will be a very intriguing season. Worst team in the NFL. You can only go up or stay the same. You can't get worse. Maybe you can. You hope that you can't. But a lot of things have changed, and Will Levis is at home with his spoonful of mayo nursing that shoulder. So best of luck in your cuts, T.
I view Will Levis this season every time Cam Ward makes a play as White Goodman in dodgeball, just like fat eating on the couch, just like rah, 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 rah.
And I will say this: now we'll get Will Levis out of our taste buds here to start the season because
we've cleansed our palate already.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I'll take the one Wingstop endorsement over the 15 BS. Here's my protein powder endorsement. So I respect it. Kind of made me want to go to Wingstop after I saw that from Cam Ward. I said, all right, hold on, fella. Let's pump the brakes, do one and done, and then let's go make it on the field. I love the demeanor and just mindset of Cam Ward. I don't think we're going to have problems there.
Spare me. I won that tournament. Thank you, Steven. All right, so let's dive into this and get it going. So how the show's going to go, we are going to go through 3 season-defining questions and topics that Zach has been sitting on during his hibernation at his Groundhog Day. The season is here for the Titans. So we'll go through those. We'll go through our official win-loss predictions for this 2025 Titans season under Cam Ward and his quarterbacking control. And then we'll end it with good news in the Fed says, let's start the show with a good old fashioned group hug. And I will just add, just nobody spit. Like you don't need to spit.
Ever. Hey, I spit 1,000 times during this show.
I mean, that's honestly probably true. If you look at our computer.
Yeah. So, it's not my fault. God,
I think I took away that Dak has a problem. More than Jalen Carter does, maybe. I don't know. They both have problems. Spitting 1,000 times in a game is ridiculous. Okay, Zach, I will toss it over to you. What is your first of these season-defining questions that we're going to run through here?
Okay, well, we're going to start with something that I've had multiple conversations with, whether it's Titans fans throughout the summer, throughout training camp, and we've had probably thousands of conversations about this through the years. And I think this is very important to set a starting point. And this is not about really me. This is about me trying to understand what you and the chat feel, because I will fully admit I have not been as in tune with the Titans as I have in years past. I haven't been on the ground floor. I haven't been on the practice field throwing the grass to see where the wind goes. I need some questions answered, and hopefully you guys can do that. I will give my 2 cents, but I think this is a very important question because they've invested a lot in this area. And I think this is season defining of where they start and really where they finish. And we'll do this. We can make an exercise out of it. Robo Gym. Let's start week 1, and then we will also assess this in week 18 as the season concludes. We'll see if there's a week 19 for the two-tone blue. We'll may find that prediction out a little bit later in the show. But I start with the offensive line. To the chat and to you, I need a starting grade for the offensive line. A lot has changed. You got 2 first-round picks, top 15 picks, big-time picks, hog mollies. You also have position changes within that. From left to right, you got big investments on the left side. You have some experience. You have some guys coming back from injury, some question marks. So give me a starting grade of the offensive line, because this is important not only to the offensive line, but to the guy that they're protecting, which is the prized pick of Cam Ward, number 1 overall. That's
For
my
sure.
first question.
All right. So you've also got big weight loss in JC Latham, who looks phenomenal. And so
the chains didn't know, the necklaces didn't get weight loss. Those added some carrots around the neck, if you know.
For sure. So just to kind of go over the entirety of this. So JC Latham, who missed the tail end of training camp, nursing some minor something, is totally fine. Dan Moore, the big investment at left tackle, did miss practice on Wednesday with an ankle injury. He was a full participant in practice yesterday on a Thursday, is good to go. Kevin Zeitler, who is the new right guard, missed a lot of time because he's 35 years old, but I had dinner with him a couple weeks last week, so he told me he's good to go too. Zach, you had dinner with Tyler Lockett and Cody Barton. But yeah, Zeitler's
which
good.
I do. I like those guys. You know, I
had both.
Cody Barton is. I like his energy. I think he's got good energy.
Yes, you and him have similar energy, I would say, overall. So Peter Skronsky is poised for a big year 3, and Lloyd Cushenberry is going to start week 1, back from the Achilles tear 10 months after it ruptured against the Patriots early in November last year. So we're going to get to the chat here momentarily. You guys have already put it in the chat there. What is your season beginning grade for this Titans offensive line, the newly restructured Titans offensive line? But first, Zach, tell everybody about our great friends and partners at Barton Jury Insurance Group.
Yeah, Barton Jury Insurance. Look, I am a user. I have been a user, not only auto, but business. They are trusted in this community. If you are in Middle Tennessee, you can trust them. And the great part about Barton Jury Insurance is they've got best of both worlds. They can help you out with your business. If you got a business that you need insured, whether it's health insurance, whether it is workers' comp, I mean, they can do it all. They also have the personal side, whether it's your auto or your home. They have helped our company in A to Z now for several years in that regard. And we're going into a pivotal point in this year. Every company does every season, and they are there to support us. They can support you. Make sure that you hitch your wagon to Barton Jury Insurance, customized solutions for all your insurance needs. They are local, and that is important. That's bartonjury.com.
Also, BTA Sports, the new title sponsor of our morning show, BTA Sports. They have a great deal for you. Man, I've got a bone to pick here in a second about last night, but you can download the BTA Sports app. That link is in our YouTube and Facebook description for the show. Use code ATOZ when you download the app to get the full season pass for just $99, and you get a 14-day free trial on the front end of that. So 14-day free trial, then a full season pass for the NFL for $99, only available through September. You can become a better sports bettor. BTA loved the first half over last night. Ding, got it. BTA also loved the Eagles total points over 26.5. That weather delay ruined that because I was riding that. I had that in parlays, but I knew that, and we'll talk more about what BTA likes about the Titans game coming up later in the show. But download that BTA Sports app. Use our code ATOZ. All right, Zach, to the chat you go. You've asked this first question, a season-defining question. What is the season starting grade for the Titans' new look offensive line? What are you seeing from Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch?
Man, a lot of old faces, a lot of old names. You know, it's like you're at this reunion. I hadn't seen IR in a while. It was B+. Titans Kyle is a B. Cameron's B-. Mike Peck B-. Andrew goes with C. American Toff goes B-. Billy Jones B+. Chandler says B. Daniel says B. Steven says B. Jay says B. We got a string of B's right there. Orlando goes C+. We don't know how cohesive they are yet, so a little context there. Curtis goes B+. B+ on paper from Darius. B-. Cushenberry could easily make that an A or a D from Cole. So impact right there in the middle at center. F. C to believe from Tall Texan. And that's some honesty. That's one of the reasons why I asked this question, because it has been a roller coaster ride for the offensive line and the Tennessee Titans. The swinging door that was the right side of the offensive line for, I feel like, years, just, hey, here's a free pass rush, get to the quarterback, bend our quarterback over backwards. That's kind of what we've been seeing for years because they have not had that line. I talked about this a little bit in the offseason before I took my hiatus, which was I loved how they moved J.C. Latham to the right side. I think that was very, very smart. It's also a bold move. You invested a top-tier first-round pick in a left tackle. He plays that for a year, then moves to right, which he played more of in college. Then they went out and spent a ton of money on Dan Moore, right? So, like, these are some moves to try to figure this deal out. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing now a little bit more, look, C+ from the Fed Chicago, C+ from Lane, C from Jason. So we got a lot of B's. Now here come the C's. C+ from David, C+ from Sean, B from Chris, B- from Landon. So we're right kind of in that area of B to C. Where do you reside, Austin?
Well, I think it was whoever mentioned that there's no depth. I kind of wanted to address that. I lost the commenter's name on that one, but I do think they actually like the depth here, and I don't dislike the depth. I think they're better interior. I think Corey Levin proved a lot in training camp in the preseason that he can play center in the league if something happens with Lloyd Cushenberry. Blake Hance is their interior do-everything guy. He can play literally any position but center. And then I think Oli Udoh is the right tackle for swing, who is the first guy off the bench if a starter goes down. And then Johnny Juku is on the practice squad, but is a potential call up for activation for game to be that jumbo tight end. So I actually think they like their offensive line depth quite a bit. So I'll disagree with that. So where I'm at with this is I have to ask a clarifying question to you, Zach. So this is a season-long grade preseason. Like, you're starting off here, right? Because we're not talking about just the Broncos game with the offensive line.
No, this is where are they starting the season at? Where do you peg the offensive line? What would you grade them? Starting point, right? When you start school, you get a starting grade. I usually start with an F.
Preseason poll.
I usually start with an F because I didn't read summer reading and I didn't read the books, right? Well, I was climbing back all season. Where is their starting point? Did they read their summer reading books? Did they not? Where are they? Where do you think they are? Gotcha. And then you also have to come into impact of where they have been a little bit and where you think they can go.
Great. So I will answer that with a B+ because I think they were phenomenal in the preseason. Cam Ward was only sacked once.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. They were really good in the preseason. They were really good in training camp. Like, this offensive line gave Cam Ward was sacked once, but do you remember him having like pressure? Like, there was a lot of times that Cam Ward scrambled early, including the first third down of his preseason career, that Van Jefferson dropped that one against the Bucs, but he left the pocket early and threw it out of bounds instead of finding and being patient in the pocket. The pocket was fine. And so I think it's a B+ because you talk about summer reading. What's the summer reading? It's being prepared. It's doing your off-season work. It's signing a left tackle that's better than what you had it's moving JC to the right, signing Dan Moore. That's better than any combination you've had over the last 3-4 years. You've got Kevin Zeitler at upgrade at right guard over Dylan Radins in that rotational door. Lloyd Cushenberry's back. Like, that's just good news in general. And Peter Skoronski looks like a beast. And I think Peter Skoronski, people forget of how his career started with having an appendectomy after his first NFL game and then missing about a month or so, coming back, lost a lot of weight. And so last year was kind of more of a rookie experience for him as from a physical standpoint. He's in year 3 and looks really good. So I think I'm going to say they start at B+ because they've done all these things correctly throughout the offseason. They did their summer reading on time and early. They didn't have to cram it at the end. They feel prepared walk into the year.
All right. I'm lower than that. Surprise. I think and again, it's not surprising in the sense of I think you weight more of the summer reading than maybe I do. I think that is important, but I don't think it's all. They also have a history, right? And they have to improve. I'm at a C plus. I kind of wanted to go C, but I'll give them the C plus for what they've done in the offseason. What is Dan Moore? Because there was a lot of criticism, I think due criticism from his performance, and this is performance-based criticism based on the money that they paid him. Now, did they have to go out and get a left tackle to move Latham from left to right? Yes, they absolutely did. And they picked their guy. I think that is going to be a very impactful situation on their grade from week 1 to week 18. Is that left side? Can he perform? Can he protect this young quarterback that is the prize jewel of the franchise? And he's going to have to prove that. I have some skepticisms on that. And I think we all know that the NFL, it has kind of revealed itself in the last 5 to 8 years. The value of players follow the money. The money says that it is poured into these pass rushers, these edge pass rushers that not only play one side, but both sides. They're interchangeable. And that, I think, is key because they are going to put their best pass rusher. And if you look at the Titans schedule, now every team has this, they face some pretty hefty pass rushes, right? And they're going to plug the weak part of the offensive line against their best. That's defensive strategy. So I'm at a C plus. There's room for improvement, but I've got to see it to believe it. And I'm not going to be fooled because we've been disappointed with this offensive line for years and years and years.
All right, so let's address the Dan Moore part of this because Bork says Dan Moore is an average tackle and the bar is so low that getting average tackle play on both sides can be season changing. I think that entire statement from Bork is correct. And I think J.C. Latham is above average on the right side. I think Dan Moore is a starting left tackle in the NFL. And we've talked about this a lot through the offseason.
But is he the 32nd best starting left tackle? Right? He can be a starting left tackle.
Right. So I think
MPF was a starting right tackle.
But he's not a starting level. Like, again, starting level and starting is different, right? Like, you have to understand that. Like, you can be a Pro Bowl level player or you can be a Pro Bowler and your name is Tyler Huntley because you got in there because of alternates, right? Those are different, right? So you see what I'm saying? So Dan Moore, if you Google who gave up the most sacks last year in the NFL, Dan Moore is going to pop up as the AI overview answer. But that is a misrepresentation of the entire Steelers season a year ago. Dan Moore played in all the games, and he has stayed very healthy throughout his career. The Steelers have drafted and tried to draft over him, and it hasn't worked out. They let him walk in free agency because they drafted or tried to draft over him. They didn't want to pay him a lot of money, what the market is for the left tackle. And you have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields who create as many sacks as Will Levis did last year. And so Dan Moore also, you talk about the best pass rushers in the league. What division is Dan Moore coming from? The AFC North. So he's played Myles Garrett twice a year the last 4 years. He's played Trey Hendrickson twice a year last year. He's played the Baltimore Ravens defense that's kind of like the Titans, Denard Wilson style defense of throwing 7 different types of smoke. So he's had a high difficulty level at left tackle, and he's a passable grade. And that's where the NFL has changed, is that do you have the ability to play left tackle in the NFL? Yes or no? There is not a lot of like middle class. It's a pass or fail type situation here. And Dan Moore,
and they can't afford him to fail, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they cannot afford the money that they paid him. They cannot afford him to fail. I think one thing they got going for him is the coach's dad.
Sure. And I'll say this. The last thing I'll say about Dan Moore, and we'll keep on moving because we gave our grades there. I think the ideal plan, Dan Moore is the worst offensive lineman the Titans have this year. If that happens, that's a good thing because
depends on how bad he is.
Sure, but I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting him to be horrible, like terrible. He's not a terrible player. He's a good player who is a starter in the NFL. And, you know, you're going to have a tough battle, but I think that the unit, the offensive line as a whole is starting at a B+ for me because of how they've prepared to fix their woes from a year ago.
All right, that's where they start. You got B+, I got C+. I think the chat is in between. I think we're right where we need to be. We didn't get many A's. We got 1 F's because there's a non-believer, which I think is also justified. I think the chat is right where I expected them to be with the knowledge of what this offensive line is, was, and could possibly be.
All right, Zach, your second season-defining question here is what?
I have a backup plan on this. I ask these questions because I'm interested. I don't ask questions just for shits and gigs, to be honest. There's a point. And I think these 2 players are interesting to me. So who will have a bigger impact between these 2 guys, Femi Oladejo and Chim DK? These, I think, is subtle because you haven't had this, I think, huge burst of Femi is a 2nd-round pick, right? You didn't really see much of the preseason. Preseason. And I think Chim DK has been overridden by Io Manor, right? I think everybody's on 5. I don't know how many are on DK. Now, DK can impact on special teams, right? Because he's going to get opportunity there. Femi or DK, who will have a bigger impact? And I think this is important because these are some higher picks. You know, we're not talking about 6th and 7th round guys. These are impact players, rookies that can either get after the quarterback or catch the football. So
yeah, roughly both are top 100 picks, with DK being 103 and Femi being the 52nd pick. All right, we'll get to your answers on that. But first, Window Nation has a fantastic deal going on this month of September, and that is if you buy 2 windows, you get 2 windows free, but you also don't have to make a payment for 2 years. So what that means, you don't have a monthly payment or a down payment or any interest until the Titans are playing football in their new stadium. Just think about it that way. That's crazy. So you can get new windows for your house, buy 2, get 2 free with Window Nation. This sale ends September 30th. You get a free estimate with the pros at Window Nation, so you can have them come to your house, see what that's going to cost, see how you can pay it off as soon as you want, whatever that matters. But you have at least 2 years to play with of no payments needed, no interest until 2027. So take care of that right there with your home. It's been a really, really hot July and August, so I'm sure your bills are a little higher than you'd rather them be. Windows can help with Window Nation, the best windows out there. 866-90Nation is the phone number. Check them out online for that free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation at windownation.com.
A to Z Sports, make sure we're giving you some benefit right here with BTA Sports. I've got my app. You need to download yours. This is better for bettors. And, you know, everybody now that sports betting has, especially in Tennessee, has been a part of our lives. How do you get better at it? Well, you download the BTA Sports app. You get the full season pass for $99, but you get a 14-day free trial. So full season, $99, but you can trial it out 14 days. That's available through September. You can use the link in the show description on YouTube. So click that link, download it. Austin has downloaded it. I've downloaded it. Easton, JT, the guys that do this show. You can bet smarter, right, with analytics. That's how you have to fight fire with fire. So we want everybody to win. We want to kill the sports books. How you do that is you go to BTA Sports and you get the edge. Information is power. BTA Sports gives you that power.
All right. Who will have a more impactful season for the Titans? Is it Femi Oladejo, the 2nd-round pick, or is it Chim DK, the first of the 3 4th-round picks? It's an interesting 2 players to pick here from. So, Zach, I'll send you the chat. What are they saying?
I think I did my job because I had a backup question if this was one-sided. I don't think it was one-sided. Chim DK from Top Tier. Femi from Major. Femi from Eric. That's tough for Orlando Jones. Yeah, welcome back to the show, Orlando. We're throwing tough questions here. These aren't softballs. Rooney goes Femi, DK from Apollo. DK will have a bigger impact from Eric. Femi gonna be nice, I think. Chim DK, Femi automatic, which I think is pretty cool nickname right there. I hope it's Femi right here. Let's see, Femi based on opportunity, Chim because of special teams. So that's why I picked this. Is you've got an additional opportunity. I think Femi is going to play. I think Chim DK can help in other ways, just besides the traditional wide receiver route. DK, Chim DK, Femi. Good question. Thank you, Maven. I'm high on Femi from Chandler. Femi, Mr. Know-It-All says go Gators, so he's going DK. DK has a higher risk of making an impact in a bad way. So Eric going with drop balls, fumbles, tip drill to interceptions, maybe muff kicks, right? So that's we don't want to get back into those days of the Adoree Jackson days. Who made an appearance last night, right? I think every Titans fan or people that follow the team was like, Adoree. Femi, I think this is split. I actually don't have a gauge on who's winning or not. I think it's 50-50 questions.
Yeah.
Which justifies it's a good question. What is your answer to this question?
So Eric says DK sees the field more. I don't think so. I think,
Yeah, I think it's tough. We don't really know yet.
Because DK is your backup to Tyler Lockett, right? As your slot right now. And he's your starting punt returner and kick returner until further notice. And Femi is backup to Arden Key. So I think that's where, Arden Key's going to play probably 50, 55% of the snaps, maybe 60% of the snaps. So that means there's a lot of almost half the snaps available for Femi. Because of the rotational nature of the defensive front. And so I think Femi will play more snaps. If you remove special teams, Femi will play more defensive snaps than DK will play offensive snaps, in my opinion. And I think Femi will have a bigger impact overall outside of special teams. Special teams is the wild card here. And I don't know how to
because one punt return for a touchdown that you're going to have to sack your way back into this thing.
Or my concern
the Titans
is
don't get those.
One muffed punt in the second quarter Sunday in Denver screws the whole thing up.
Yeah, and you're not catching punts anymore, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it is. I thought about this, and I had a backup to this because I was curious. I was going to throw another player into the mix. I'm not going to disclose that because I think this is a good question. I'm going to go Chim DK. And I'm going to say that because can Tyler Lockett at his age hold up the entire year? I know he gets down and doesn't get hit. He's a specialist at that, right? So he's good at that. But how healthy can this wide receiver core stay? And I think there's opportunity for playing time there. They also drafted him for that reason. I think we all know Alec Iomanner has showcased what he can do. I think he's had a really, really solid preseason, some exciting stuff there. And I think the value of where they drafted him, Titans fans, and I think Mike Bergonzi was like, okay, this is a good pick. And I think that can be a good bet. Iomanner is so good that I drafted him late in my fantasy draft. And I know you care so much about that, but I do have high expectations for him to progress throughout the season. I'm going DK. I'm worried about the muffed kicks and the punts and the returns. I am worried about that, but I think he is fast and he can have a more positive impact than a negative impact. That's where I'm going.
So Matt says Chim's failures have catastrophic impacts. Femi's failures wouldn't be as meaningful. I mean, I don't know if it wouldn't be as noticeable, maybe.
Noticeable would be,
yeah. Here's the other thing too. Here's why I think Femi's the answer. Femi's impact is also probably not as noticeable as Chim's positive impact. Because Chim's positive impacts are the balls in his hands and first down Titans or something, right? Or catching the punt, gaining 8-9 yards, whatever. That's Chim's noticeable impact. The only noticeable impact Femi really is going to have is like the high level impact, the sack or the pressure. And there's just not as many opportunities
on the outside. Like, I mean,
sure,
he can impact because he's a big body, long rusher. And I think that's why he was very raw, that we all know why they drafted him. Can that talent come to fruition?
I think, and Denard Wilson called Femi a tone setter. He is somebody who comes out and the first, series to game is throwing all of the muscles that he has into the offensive lineman across the way. Say, hey, I'm here to play for 60 minutes. Let's do this thing. And so I think there's more of an impact that's unseen for Femi than DK.
I'm going DK because the question is about this year. If you give me in 3 years, I would take Femi because I think his development, that was the one thing that he needed more of because he hasn't played the position since he was Pee-wee. It wasn't like that. It's fairly new. And I think the development of Femi Oladejo, I would take him in 3 years. This year, I'll take DK.
I also think Eric says Femi's a project. We all know that for sure. I think the other thing we have not seen in preseason games yet that I saw early in training camp, but maybe not as much throughout training camp. I think they're going to use Femi as a gadget piece on defense. I think you're going to see, and I talked about this at one point. I don't remember what month it was over the summer. After noticing it, you're going to see the Titans defense have 3 edge defenders on the field together. It'll be like Arden Key, Draymond Jones, and Femi. And like Arden Key and Jones will be like your regular edge. And then Femi's just going to be like slicing, knifing through from wherever the hell he feels or wants, or Denard draws it up. And you're going to have Cody Barton as a solo inside backer. So I think Femi's a little bit of a weapon X on some of those type of like set passing downs where you can really pin your ears back and go.
I am concerned about the pass rush, though. I mean,
it's going to have to be manufactured.
And I don't think you can manufacture it with the plastic pieces that you have.
Yeah. So just to wrap up my answer on this, you're asking about 2 rookies and their impact. Who will have more, Chim and Femi? I think there are multiple other rookies that will have a bigger impact than both.
Yeah. Yes. That's why I asked the question. I wasn't going to give you guys the easy answers. I had, I went through this. So I think it was a good question. I think it's pretty close where I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're wrong. I just think it's too close. We'll find out.
All right. So you have one more question that could be season defining. I have a feeling this one's about Cam Ward. And then we're going to get to our win-loss predictions before good news. So, Zach, what's your third one here?
It's not about look, offensive line, I think, is impactful. Wide receiver that can step up or pass rusher that can step up, I think, is impactful. But the number 1 overall pick, the leader of this team alongside Jeffrey Simmons, and I've loved the dynamic from those two. I think that has made the off-season training camp in that sense.
I think Cam has made Jeff more likable for Titans fans. Just a side note.
I think they're both dogs. I think they're both alpha dogs, and the Titans need more alpha dogs. They don't have enough of them, and it's good to see your best player on defense and hopefully your best player on offense be those alpha dogs. So this is going to take a little bit more from the chat, okay? Get your typing fingers out because I need more than a one-word answer. Let's go with 1 sentence for Cam Ward's rookie season, period. So start with a sentence, end with a period. 1 sentence for Cam Ward's rookie season. The number 1 overall pick, wearing Warren Moon's number 1, the worst team in the league. What will define Cam Ward's rookie season? I think this is very, very important to the franchise. We saw how Will Levis handled year 2, but starting duties with some ups and downs, right? He started with some downs and, started the season with Chicago and New York, and then got hurt in Miami. had to fight back from that, couldn't fight back. Then the team struggled, and we kind of know what the rookie season was for that. But for Cam Ward, give me one sentence for Cam Ward's rookie year.
All right, we'll do that from the chat. But first, I want to tell you guys about our friends at Botero Carts. They got 2 locations to serve you in Gallatin and the brand new one in Columbia, Tennessee. Life is short. Buy a golf cart. How about this? You don't have to have financing for this golf cart for 36 months. We got a lot of really good deals with our new partners here on the show, whether it's BTA Sports with a great deal, Window Nation a great deal, and Botero Carts. So carts start at $6,700. They're open 7 days a week. Botero Carts is full sales, service, and a rental dealer. They are locally owned and operated with both those locations. I mentioned Columbia and Gallatin. There is no dealer fee. There's no credit card fee for you. The carts are stored indoors, which means the weather doesn't affect them at all. And there's a no credit needed option if you do need it. So again, life is short. Buy a golf cart. I was telling earlier in the week with JT, I was just at a restaurant, just picking up brunch or something like that last week, and just saw a family of 4 just roll up in a golf cart. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's great. So check them out. There's several different reasons of why you could need a golf cart. Botero is the place to go in Middle Tennessee and Gallatin and Columbia. Online, boterocarts.com.
I do agree. Life is better when you have a golf cart, right?
Yes.
You just, the wind in your face, and you're just, nobody's going to mess with you.
You can't argue.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to wave at you. Yeah. They're not going to flick you off.
And
they're going to wave at you. Jealousy. Jealousy. Another thing that makes life better is information, and Better for Betters is BTA Sports. Download the app today. BTA Sports, when you download the app, you can get a full season pass for $99 plus a 14-day free trial. That's available in September. You can use the link in the show description on YouTube. So go there, download. I have downloaded the app. It has information. You can do players, you can do games, and they kind of tell you where the line is, but where they think the line should be. They also have, whether it's props of passing props, where Patrick Mahomes, where his yards are currently, and where you think they are, or where they think they are going to be tonight in Brazil. So BTA Sports, download the app, promo code A to Z Sports, but use that link right there at the bottom of the YouTube description. Click it, download it today, where the season is in full gear.
All right. So Zach, you asked, what's one sentence for Cam Ward's rookie year? Do you want to go through real quick?
Let's get I do, because this is, we're asking more of the chat for this question. We usually don't ask a lot from this. And now, Edwards, let's start out hot. Old Eddie right here is starting out hot. Rookie of the year, period. Now, rookie of the year is not given. I think it's more slighted to quarterbacks. We can all agree to that. But you have to have a reputable season as a rookie to get rookie of the year. I think he has a leg up because he's the number 1 overall pick, but rookie of the year, period. So,
and there's no other quarterbacks in the running for this, right? Like, he's the only quarterback this year for rookie of the year. So the other options are what? Ashton Genty with the Raiders. I mean, there's a couple other running backs that could do it because it was a good running back draft class. I don't think either the highly drafted tight ends are going to be options for rookie of the year. It was not as star-studded of a receiver class as,
which is good for the Titans in the future, right? Is because that means that better crops are on the way or on the horizon. We found our guy from Austin. Cam is developing, but shows signs of greatness. I like this. Hit that like button, people. So that may be a defining moment right there. Let's see. Show that you can be the reason your team wins games. So, Anthony, I like this sentence because last year, opening the season in Chicago with a lead, the reason why the Titans lost was because of their quarterback. Be the reason why the Titans win for Cam Ward. There's from Anthony. Hot, or start hot, level off, finish strong. So there's the up and down roller coaster. The stars have aligned. Some ups and downs, but clear development to be the guy. Cam Ward will be in the Pro Bowl games. Now, that that has a lot of range to it, right? And impact.
I mean,
Pro
there's
Bowl
3
does not
AFC
mean-
quarterbacks that you could probably pencil in or it would make it pin.
I like this. Prone to mistakes, but electric. I think Cam Ward has an electric arm and electric mind. Can he have electric accuracy, and can he have electric decision making? In the NFL, as your quarterback, you're defined by decision making. The greats do that. Their clock ticks quicker. It just goes faster. Their engine runs smoother. They don't have hitches. We saw that. I always think of like Mitch Trubisky developed a hitch. He was supposed to be this great, and he did not process as quickly as the top tier quarterbacks. You've seen that across the league. Can Cam Ward do this? It will be an edge on the edge of your seat season. So John, with some high expectations there will be some growing pains from Craig. We came close, but still disappointing. So getting ready for disappointment. Ward will solidify himself as the franchise quarterback. That is important. You know, the pick is a pick, but you got to show it. Slow start, but progressively finds his way. Cam shows the potential to be what we've been looking for decades. Now, Andre goes decades. That means Aaron McNair. That means Vince Young. That means Jake Locker. That means Marcus Mariota. That means Ryan Tannehill. That's the slate of quarterbacks, right? Well, don't worry about Charlie Whitehurst. Those are the slate. That was the investment, and none of them worked out to a Super Bowl victory. We know the ranking. It goes Aaron McNair and then Ryan Tannehill, and then the rest have been bad picks.
Right. Yeah, or just not sustained play with Mariota. So, I'm going to say my sentence. I'm going to try to use 2 recent rookies and blend it. I think Cam Ward's rookie season will be a mix between Bo Nix and Caleb Williams. So what that means
on the fence.
No, I just think like if you look
go ahead, but
well,
that's
I'm going to
tough.
hey, look, if you're trying to, that's a headline for the article that I'm about to write. Okay.
There's a gap of about a mile long between Bo Nix and Caleb Williams' rookie year, though.
I mean,
what does that mean?
I will tell you, if you you're judging the headline and you're just commenting furiously on Facebook because you think my headline's stupid without even reading what I wrote.
I don't agree with the headline.
Okay, how can you not agree with the headline if you don't even know what I said?
Read me the article.
Okay, the article is this is not about the counting stats necessarily, because if you look at the counting stats, both quarterbacks had pretty good years, because it was like 28 to 12 touchdown to interceptions for Bo Nix. They made the playoffs. He threw for 3,700 yards. He was sacked 24 times. Those are really good counting stats for a rookie quarterback, especially when you look at Bo Nix didn't throw his first touchdown pass until his 4th start, which is kind of wild. So then you look at Caleb Williams. If you remove the eye test of the disaster that the Bears actually were and just go look at the box score, it's 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for Caleb Williams. Not bad, but he was sacked 68 times. I don't think Cam's gonna be sacked 68. So I think you can blend a little bit of those 2 quarterbacks, where Caleb was more on a roller coaster of figuring out the speed of the game and the flow of the game. Bo Nix was a slower starter, but got hot late. And I think when you look at the way the Broncos set up Bo Nix to succeed and the lack of the way the Bears set up Caleb Williams to succeed from a coaching standpoint, I think it's going to be more of the Broncos, less of the Bears. So I think a mix of those 2 guys, it'll be more like the interceptions of Bo Nix, but probably more of like the less touchdowns for Caleb Williams. So I'm thinking 20-ish touchdowns in the low to mid-teens of interceptions, 3,600 yards, sacked probably 35, 40 times. And the Titans are not going to be in the playoffs, but they're going to be better than the Bears were a year ago from a record standpoint. So how was the article? Does the article okay for the headline? I mean, you can still disagree with it. You just have to blow the lid on it.
It's not necessarily disagree. It's just a wide range. I think that's where that that gives you a lot of room for, yep, he was. Yep, he was. Yep, he was. That's my
But did you
criticism.
click? Did you want? Did the headline make you want to click the link?
I got the information. I understand more. I understand more now than just reading the headline. So that is fair.
So a mix between Bo Nix and Caleb Williams, both week 1 opponents for the Titans this year and last year.
Bo Nix week 1 in Denver. I think that is it's a good test for the Titans, but I think it's a greater test for Bo Nix because I think there is that hype train of making the playoffs at the end, playing really well against Kansas City's backups and making your way into the playoffs. And they competed. I mean, it wasn't a close game, but they competed in the playoffs for a young first team. And you got to give Sean Payton credit for making that pick, right? A lot of criticism around it.
And Bo Nix was not good to start last year. His first game, 62% completion, 138 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, averaged 3.3 yards per attempt. Not good. His second, they lost. His second game, he threw for 246, 57% completion, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, and they also lost. So it took him until the last weekend of September to throw a touchdown pass. And so it was a slow roll for Bo Nix. And then he started racking up games where he's going 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 4, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4. And the Broncos made the playoffs.
Okay. So my sentence for Cam Ward's season is the wins may not be there, but the throws will. That is my sentence.
I like that.
I think Cam Ward has the arm talent that Titans fans have never seen before. I think he is a gunslinger, and I think in a good way. I think he'll have to settle his gunslinging ways probably early, but you're going to see some throws to Calvin Ridley and Gunnar Helm over the middle and Alec Iomanner that this is the worst receiving core he should have in a long time. This should be it, right? Rookie year. I don't know the wins will not be there because I don't think their team is very good. But I think the throws will be. I think Titans fans are, even if they lose, I think they're going to be really impressed with the decisions and the ability of this player's arm. And that is exciting. This is a stair-step thing. This is not year 3 or 4. This is year 1 of a rebuild. They're the worst team in the league with the number 1 overall pick. They selected a quarterback. This is the beginning. But I think the throws, I think we're going to be really excited and be like, highlight reels. Damn, how did he drop that in? Now, I didn't say catches. I said throws because that is also important. I think all a quarterback can do is do what Dak Prescott did last night at the end of that game. Dak didn't lose that game. CeeDee Lamb didn't catch the ball, and he's paid to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley's paid to catch the ball. Alec Iomanner's paid to catch the ball. Tyler Lockett is paid to catch the ball. None of them to the degree of CeeDee Lamb. Yeah. I think the throws will be there, though.
I think that's what I thought about was the whole Van Jefferson drop debate. Was like Van Jefferson doesn't make that catch because he's Van Jefferson being paid vet minimum. CeeDee Lamb, and that Van's is a preseason. CeeDee Lamb was week 1, 4th quarter, game on the line. You dropped it. You're being paid how much?
And then dropped it again. The second one was harder than the first one.
Yeah.
But you get paid to catch one of those 2.
Exactly. And so that's what I was freaking. That's what I was defending in air quotes Van Jefferson because CeeDee Lamb makes the catch. Van Jefferson, if he makes the catch, you're like, holy crap, wow, Van Jefferson, look at you, man. So, all right, I think it's a great sentence. I agree with yours. I like the exercise of the one sentence for Cam Ward's rookie season. So we still have our win-loss predictions here coming up. Real quick, I did want to get a couple super chats. Here, Andre says, the elite tier duo is back. Finally, more Zach. And King VC says, Ayo, Zach is back, baby. What's up, bro? Lock in, like the show. Football is back. Football is back. And we're going to have our pregame, halftime, and postgame show on Sunday afternoon for the entire Titans game and have that every game throughout the year. So Now we get to do the real thing. Win-loss predictions. Zach, are you ready for it?
I am ready for it.
All right. But first, tell everybody about our friends at Bone and Joint Institute.
Yes, Bone and Joint Institute is where you need to go. Don't fumble on your recovery. Go to the Bone and Joint Institute. Maybe something over the years has been haggling you. Maybe it's a shoulder, maybe it's ankle, maybe it's a knee. Get that checked out and get the help that you need, whether it could be surgery, it could be rehab. That's what they can diagnose. They've been trusted here in the mid-state. They've got satellite locations all across Middle Tennessee. We love Bone and Joint Institute. They've been a partner, a great partner of A to Z Sports for a number of years. That is the impact of Middle Tennessee. They've made an impact over the last several years, just like A to Z has. That's why it's such a great partner. They're a specialist. I mean, that truly is what they are. They give us information on injuries. We know the doc talks that we all know and love. They can help you with your recovery. Don't fumble on it. That's the Bone and Joint Institute.
And BTA Sports, powered by the BTA Sports app. Download the app, use our code ATOZ, and you can sign up with a 14-day free trial plus $99 for the full season pass to make you a better sports bettor and a better fantasy football player. And look, BTA gave me the first half over last night, hit that. They really liked the Eagles team total at 26.5. The weather delay got in the way of that. That was a bummer for me. A lot of people love the over. The weather delay ruined that too overall. But how about this? How about I give you guys a little extra spice? Calvin Ridley, over 66 yards, 65% chance of hitting. So BTA likes Calvin Ridley over 66 yards. So some books might have it a little bit different, but BTA Sports at 66 yards for Ridley, a 65% chance of hitting that. So look at that for your parlays or your props for the weekend and for Titans and Broncos. Okay, win-loss. Zach, the chat's already loaded it up. Do you want to start with the chat and then go through it with us?
We can, yes. Let's do here. We'll go through quick rundown. 6-11 from IR. Jeremy goes 7-10, 9-8 playoffs. 8-9 from John. 6-11, 6-11. 5 wins. The over-under is 5.5. It started at 4.5 way back when. Got to 5.5. That's where that is. Austin, I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this season. Last year, I predicted you predicted like 8.
I think I said
9.
I think I said 9-8. And I think you said 7-10.
I said 7-10. We were both way off.
Yeah, one more than the other.
Where are you? Are you back to 9 wins or
no?
You're a little different.
No, I'm keeping the powder dry this year, as Coach Max says on Titans radio. So I do feel like the Titans will finish at 6-11, and I think I agree with your sentence about Cam Ward. The wins won't be there, but the throws are. It's going to be a fun roller coaster 6-11, and we talked about this on a show on Wednesday, Zach, of Peyton Manning's rookie year, where they went 3-13 in '98 with the Colts. And then flipped it around 13-3 the next year with the Colts and won their division and hosted a playoff game. Lost to Eddie George and the Titans in that RCA Dome. But Peyton's growing pains of throwing 28 interceptions because he started all 16 games as a rookie, them losing 8 one-score games in Peyton's rookie year, led to the learning lessons of turning it around. And I'm not saying the Titans are going to go 6-11 this year and 12-5 next year at all. But I do think this team is committed to Cam Ward. This team is committed to Brian Callahan and Cam Ward together. And I think they're going to have a leash to let Cam Ward learn as much as he possibly can and put him in success to have a second and third year jump. But I think 6-11 is fine. I like Yuri says, does 6-11 keep Callahan's job? Yes.
That was good. Yuri, that was my follow-up.
I mean, I don't. They're going to have. It's going to have to be unmitigated disaster with other stuff for Brian Callahan to get fired. That is I'm sticking my neck as far as I can on that. I think Brian Callahan. I've said this on other shows, Zach, but not to you. I think Brian Callahan is more likely to be here for 2027 than he is to get fired this year. They are that much against firing him this year. It might be
say anything.
Well,
like
here's my point. It might be a 5% chance that he's here in 2027, but it's like a 2% chance he's fired this year. That's my point. I think they're that against it
on that. I think NFL seasons for bad teams are defined how you start. Last year was a defining moment. The Jets and the Bears game, the Titans could have won.
Yeah.
Some say should have, right? But they didn't. Ifs and buts, beer and nuts. How they start their season, I think, will define how the Titans, can they steal this? I'm not saying they steal the Broncos game, but can they steal the Colts and the Cardinals game early to start 2-3, and all of a sudden you're kind of creeping up back on 500. You're there. You're not 1-4. You're not 1-5. You're not 2-6. You still have some of that at 2-3. Can they do that? I looked at the schedule and I sat there and I said, I think they could probably split with Jacksonville and Indianapolis. That's 2 games. Home and away doesn't really matter, right? They could beat Arizona. There's 3. They could beat New Orleans. There's 4. They could beat Cleveland. There's 5.
You're skipping over the Raiders?
I think the Raiders are going to be better than one thinks. I would take, I don't know what the over-under Raiders season total is.
Not much different than the Titans.
I would take the over on the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders play in the AFC West, where they got 6 really tough divisional games. So that's a hard thing to have the win total climb.
Correct. But I also think that they've got a good head coach and experienced quarterback. And look, they don't have the wide receivers that they need, but I think Brock Bowers is pretty damn good. And I think defensively, Pete Carroll is going to help that team. So the Raiders are maybe my top. That's my toss-up. I'm in between 5 and 6. I will, for the sake of Cam Ward, go 6 wins. I'll agree with you. I did bet over 5.5. I wish I would have gotten it 4.5, but I have 6-11, and I'll give that 6th game. Maybe it's Jacksonville, a meaningless game at the end of the season. So I think that's kind of where they are. In a weird world, I don't think that they're going to win 3 games and be the worst team in the league again. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think in a weird world, they can't be great. I don't know if they can't win the division. I think that they could maybe pressurize some things down the stretch, but I think they're a 6-win team. I am different though, Austin. I do not think that solidifies Brian Callahan's job.
Okay.
I think Brian Callahan needs to win 7 games to solidify his job.
That's not what they think.
I don't think you know what they think.
I think I know more than
one decision maker. There is one decision maker that makes all of the decisions. And she is the controlling owner. And what she says goes. And she will fire anybody she feels like she needs to fire. So I don't think you can say that. I actually know you can't say that.
I think
and that has been proven. That's not just a hunch. That's history.
And look, people pointed out to Teron Davenport's report in training camp that they considered firing him after last year. Like, of course they did, but they didn't. And so their stance, again, Zach, talk them out. The Titans' stance is that because they did not fire Brian Callahan and they drafted Cam Ward, they're committing to at least 2 more seasons of Brian Callahan.
Give me a break.
That's what they're doing.
Baloney.
No, it's not. That's what they're telling people. That's what we know.
What did they tell about? Okay, Rand Carthon. He's going to be the stable of this franchise. He is going to put us in the next. He's got so much experience from the 49ers. Well, Ken Wisenhunt. They tell you so much BS. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Different.
Don't be fooled. You've been doing this long enough, Austin.
I
Do not be fooled.
I know, but I do think there is a different approach from the front office this year that they understand what this is. Like they have had the pie in the face too many times and trying to avoid the rebuild, avoid the reset, avoid all those words. and they are accepting it.
We got Micah Parsons for 3 more years. We got him for 3 more years. Not 1, not 2, but 3 more years. So we are not trading Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is
Jerry
an
Jones
unbelievable player, and we got him for the franchise tag, and then we got him for another franchise tag. Well, he's here. We're not trading him.
Zach,
don't listen to what they say. I'm telling you that.
Okay. So just nothing matters. It's just right.
Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. There's your trivia answer. Yes, you got that one correct. Nothing matters.
I'm saying that sarcastically.
They will say, but they will do anything.
It will take so much for Brian Callahan to get fired. So much for him to get fired. They view Brian Callahan getting fired as the worst case, the absolute worst thing that could happen to Cam Ward.
And don't put I like Brian Callahan. Now, let me put this on the record. I am not cheering against this. I don't think that this is likely. I just think I do not listen to anything anyone says in the NFL. That's what makes the drama, because what you think is not reality. I think Brian Callahan has a great demeanor. I think he's smart. I think he's been around really good quarterbacks. I think he can manage an offense. I think he can put Cam Ward in positions to be successful. I also like that he's given the keys to Cam Ward. He supports Cam Ward. That's what you need. He's not trying to take the limelight from Cam Ward. Cam Ward is the face of the franchise in the future. Brian Callahan knows it. Cam Ward knows it. Amy Adams-Strunk knows it. The front office knows it. I want Brian Callahan to be successful, but I don't trust, this is not just Amy Adams-Strunk, any owner in the NFL to not make rash decisions based on circumstance. History shows they do that all the effing time. So you saying I guarantee, I don't put any weight to that.
Okay, because the reason why it's not going to happen this year is because the Titans have been doing this the last 3 years. It's been 3 years in a row. J-Rob, Vrabel, ran, and they're sick of doing that.
They're don't sick care.
They do care. That's
obviously they don't.
They do. There was a justified reason for firing Rand Carthon because of how he was not doing the football stuff the right way.
That's not what they were telling us.
Well, I don't know.
That's why I say.
There was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we had been hearing that made the Rand Carthon firing make sense.
And you and I know a lot of those. I understand that, but don't listen to what they say. Okay. There is a controlling owner that makes the decisions based on circumstance. So you saying I guarantee is not smart, in my opinion.
Brian Callahan's not getting fired this year. Sticking my neck out for it.
I'd put your net back in and roll the window up. That's
fine. I mean, if you want to take
I'm not saying he is, but I'm definitely not putting my neck out there and saying
I'm doing
this is a guarantee.
I'll tell you this. If you want to go to your whatever sports book of your choice and whatever the odds are for Brian Callahan to get fired, you can waste money there if you want to place that bet. He's not getting fired.
I hope he doesn't. But I'm not going to say he's not going to.
And Carpet King says, I agree, Austin. Not this year, but he will get demoted to hot seat. Oh, yeah. He could be on the hot seat in 2026, but he's not getting fired this year. That would hurt Cam Ward. They care more about Cam Ward than their head coaching position, right? Duh. Every NFL team should. It's harder to find the quarterback than it is the head coach.
Do they start 0-6, get blown out every single game?
They're not going to fire Brian Callahan.
Okay.
Look, I guess here's why I disagree with you the most. Because I think you said like he needs to get to 6-11, 7-10 to save his job. They're not looking. The same thing that you answered about Cam Ward, the wins aren't there, but the throws are. That's how they're also going to view Brian Callahan. Is not by the win.
How though? We all know this though, right? There's context to it. You always love to say context. How they lose and how they win is meaningful, right?
Absolutely.
And where the trajectory of the offense, and look, there's also things that happen throughout the course of the season, whether it's inside the locker room or team stuff or injury. There's so many things. So all I'm saying is you saying that like it is God's word is I just don't. I'm not agreeing with it.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Richie G says Brinker wanted Callahan fired already. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. That's not accurate, Richie. Like, that's like, you're saying that like you heard it from a book. No, that's not the case.
Yeah,
Ted Brinker did not want Brian Callahan fired.
The case. That's not the case. I am opening my mind up for room for change. I'm not saying it's going to happen. You're closing that door for room for change, and that's fine.
Again, my words, it will have to be an unmitigated disaster for Brian Callahan to get fired.
Well, you I mean, again,
he didn't get. Well,
don't bone Nick's Caleb Williams.
Would you describe Brian Callahan or last year as an unmitigated disaster with Will Levis?
Yes,
he survived. He didn't get fired.
Yeah, but
so a second one, okay. Brian Callahan.
Not everyone survived.
Brian Callahan cannot survive 2 unmitigated disasters. He's already survived 1.
It is what it is. All right.
So we're both at 6-11.
6-11.
Okay, but you think Callahan's on the block at 6-11?
Yeah, I think he's definitely on the block at 6-11. I think he because how 6-11 happens is meaningful. I mean, I've said 2 and 3. I think that now if you're 2 and 3 and you've won 2 games to start the season and you don't start out as a disaster, that has improved Brian Callahan's efforts so much, right? So much. But you can't lose the games like you did last year to start the season.
Yeah,
that cannot happen.
Yeah, you know why? Because William Levis III had 9 turnovers in the first 3 games. That loses football games. And you have Brian Callahan. What the hell are we doing? You know, that's where it is different. Okay, let's end the negativity and get to some good news. If you've got good news in the chat, let us hear it. Good news heading to an NFL weekend. Shout out to our friends at Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon. Payne Bone will help you out. Save some money on that new ride. If you need to trade in your current vehicle, they got you there. They got all different types of deals for whatever financial situation you're in Lebanon, online, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Good news. What are you seeing in the chat there, Zach?
All right, Matt's going some college football good news. Good news, the new allegations against Ohio State are juicy, and I'm here for it. Michigan, man, go blue. So,
where's Jeff? Where's Jeff at? Where's Jeff to say they don't matter? Where's Jeff to say that it doesn't matter? It's okay.
I have my own opinions on the Michigan stuff, which is ridiculous. Let's see here.
Oh, there they go. There he is. There he is. And they're fake.
Fake
right
news.
On cue. Thanks, Jeff.
News, but fake news.
By the way, Jeff, be more predictable, Jeff.
Yeah, you called that. Let's see. Zachary Goodman says, good news, the OG crew is back for once, right? A to Z is back. And we've got, for the foreseeable future, Mondays, right? Monday. I've got one Monday. I've got week 2 Monday. I will be traveling. But this is the deal. This is what we do. Monday's Reaction Monday. We'll watch the games on Sunday, and we want everybody to pile in and make sure Monday we start off on a good foot. Jeff Rubel, good news. Alabama is going back to what they normally are outside of Saban and Bryant, just as normal. So I will give Jeff this. This was my good news, because over the weekend, watching Alabama fans go silent or freak out, there was no in between. And you love to see it. You love to see it, because Alabama, as we all know, has had the glory of Nick Saban for a number of years, right? And it doesn't mean Alabama is going to be awful or they're going to lose the rest of their games or DeBoer's going to be fired this weekend. It doesn't mean that. But just for an instance, this is like little good news that you have to take with you and you think about before you go to sleep, right? This is not good news forever, but it was funny to see them flail in a new era of DeBoer in year 2 of question marks, and then come out and really get hammered. Like, the game was over in the 4th quarter and Alabama was going to lose, and that never happens, right? They always find a way to get back into it, but they didn't. So
you've seen the DeBoer buyout, haven't you?
Yes. And the good thing is they can pay that $60 million since like 2031.
70. Yeah.
Right? $70 million of 2031. Those boosters, those Alabama boosters better start creating companies.
Could you imagine being so good and simultaneously bad that you could get fired and get $800K a month for 6 years? Like, you're good enough to earn that buyout, but bad enough to get it simultaneously. Crazy.
How many, I knew Washington wasn't that good. I knew when I thought that was hilarious. So that was actually my good news. Big Ten Jeff and I are on the same page early on. You love to see it. Let's see here. It's Friday from Deshaun, Washington. Good news. Zach is back. I appreciate the love. The love won't last, though. I'll get you're an effing idiot here in a couple of weeks, or Zach's stupid. I did get a Zach's annoying, which actually makes me feel good. I love that. I love that I'm in your head. And I also love the love. So it doesn't affect me in that sense, but I do enjoy it. And so we'll have a good season. Let's see here. Good news. Cam Ward era begins this weekend. Get the baby blue. They're all wearing all white. They're wearing the icy whites, but the baby blues are back, right? Titan blue is here for the season. Good news. Levis's cologne smelt good. I never really smelt it. So
it didn't smell bad. I got a bottle. We were going to give it away. And then it arrived at my house Tuesday after the Bears game. And so I was like, nobody wants this.
Great news for Bustin' Diamond. Everybody was waiting on bated breath for this. He's getting his bedroom carpet replaced next Monday. So
that is your carpet.
It's huge. That Bustin' Diamond. Who knows? You never know. Let's see here. Finally, game weekend from Denise. Good news. Didn't draft AJ Brown in fantasy. Dixie, I did, unfortunately, and that was bad. So I was a part of that. What are you doing, AJ Brown? Good news. One free Mexican cruise for work. Get 5-day trip the first weekend in October. Way to go, Titans, Kyle. So you'll be enjoying that cruise there.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Let's see. Good news. No Corey Davis mentions in Zach's return. Well, Abdul, we lost that because I just mentioned Corey Davis. So there's that. Good news. Thank God it's Friday. Good news. I love it when Austin and Zach are on. Makes for a good show. Love the heated debate. So there's Carpet King. Maybe Carpet King and Flooring can help our guy Bustin' Diamond get his bedroom carpet replaced. We are matchmakers here on A to Z. So There we go. So good news. So my good news was the Alabama thing because that sparked my thing. Austin, what is your good news?
My good news is not, one, to clear this up. Swan says, oh, wow, Austin smells like mayo. I never used the cologne. Levis sprayed it at the press conference when he had it, and then I quickly donated said cologne to some other facility.
That's another question. I mean, this is another question. Are you pro cologne guy or not cologne guy?
Never worn it.
Never worn cologne.
Never worn cologne.
But some are cologne guys. So Levis being one of them. What is your good news?
Today, my son is 6 months old. That's crazy.
There you go.
So that's my good news. Yeah, no kidding. So that's my good news. And the weather, I know we usually don't do weather stuff for good news, but how miserably hot it has been. I'm parlaying my good news.
Because we just count your first one. Your second one doesn't count. We have a hard line that weather cannot be good news.
No, I know.
Years ago.
But my point is watching football outside. That's fun. Got to do that last night. Watching football outside. Got to do it last Saturday, watching the Vols, watching football outside. That's what it's football weather and 6 months. Big milestone.
There we go. Well, that was a good Friday. It was a good show. Went smooth. Felt like we covered a lot. I think I covered the summer. I think we did that. I'm back. We're good to go on Monday. We've done the recap, and we'll all enjoy football throughout the course of the weekend and see what happens Sunday. We got game day shows. We got the coverage covered. So make sure you lock in on A to Z.
That's right. We'll have game day, pregame, halftime, postgame. Easton is flying to Denver today. JT and I will have the game day show for week 1, and then we'll see what happens. So we'll see you guys on Sunday afternoon for that 3 p.m. kickoff. Pregame will be at 2:30 Central Time, by the way. for you guys. So also, before you head out of here, make sure you hit that like button, like the show, subscribe to all of our channels. The season is officially back, and give us that 5-star Google review. See you guys on Sunday, game day. Talk to you later. Appreciate it.
Adios.